Then I'll give you a quick introduction. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about myself, though I could. But that's the Aries in me. I like to talk. So my name is Linda Fabry. I'm an intuitive artist. I have some background in like art therapy and metaphysical studies and things like that. And I bring it all together. I'm also a clairvoyant empath. And I bring that all together and I use art as a form of divination. So I create, so what we're going to do tonight is you'll get to pick some colors. So I'll do as many readings as I can. And I'll ask you a few colors. They go by number, so I'll explain that in a second. And then I'll put the colors down, I'll paint what I see in it, and then I'll translate that image into a verbal message too. So we'll talk about the different symbolism and things like that. I'm going to try to keep it to about like 5 minutes per reading, which is a fraction of what I normally do. So I'll probably talk really quickly. This is just so that you can get a little bit of insight, get some inspiration. If you want a full reading, those are all on my website and all that good stuff. You know, I'm sure you can figure out how to find it. If not, just ask. And then I'm going to pull a card. So I'm doing these little mini cards. I'm going to pin this now so I can get my face off the screen.
Oh, should I get mine off?
Here, how's that? Is that better?
I should get mine off, right?
I can't really see you. It's just kind of,
okay.
everybody see this one front?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so the size, they're 2.5 inches by 3.5. This is a standard artist trading card size, so that makes it kind of fun, right? This is the size of my mini reading. A full size reading is 9 by 12, so that's to give you an idea of it. I've got a few of them here. We'll see how many I can do. So I'm gonna have you, if you'd like a reading, then just do the little hand raise thing. There is an option if you don't know how to do it. It's under reactions. So you're looking in your little menu for a reaction, the button that says reactions, and then you hit that button and it'll say raise hand, and that'll put a little hand next to your name. And I'm just going to go right down the line. So I see Susan and Jocelyn and Deborah have their hands up. Okay. So yeah, so you're welcome to like just hang out and watch. And I wanted to mention that too. So as I'm reading for everybody, most likely if you have some stuff that's like really strong in your energy, it's going to come through in other people's readings too. We're here together for a reason, I think. So you will probably get some pretty good insights from other people too. All right, so we're going to start with Susan. And so if you don't have background noise, don't worry about muting. If you do have background noise, just hit the mute stuff. But as I'm talking to Susan, I'm going to focus on Susan's. I see you, Renee. I see you, and Erin too. Cool. All right. So how you doing, Susan? You here with me?
Yes, I am. I'm just trying.
Did you say you're trying?
Yes, I'm trying to get my camera to work.
Oh, okay. Well, while you're doing that, can you give me 3 numbers between 1 and 40?
3, 11, 27.
And then do you have a favorite color today?
Yes, like a dark pink, like magenta, like
Yeah, bright magenta right there.
Yep.
Okay, so just for everybody watching, my colors are all labeled with numbers. So if you are planning on getting a reading, you might want to think about 3 numbers. They go from 1 to 40. You can do it at spur of the moment, but that's just an easy way to pick colors. Miss Natasha says she's going to be a creeper tonight. That's cool. Be a creeper. I was going to say creepers welcome, but like you as a creeper, you're welcome. All right, let me just switch this light. Ooh, that's bright. All right, let's see. How's that look? Can you see? Has everybody got this front and center? Just want to make sure. Okay. All right, so do you have an intention or a question for your reading? I see you now, Susan. You're in the dark, but I see you.
Yeah, I'm in my pajamas because it's 1 a.m. and Jana just sneaked into my bed because she wants to participate as well.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you make time to come, even though it's so late.
Yeah, we set our alarms. We tend to go to bed early and then set our alarms to get up at 1 a.m.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. So what do you
Well,
have
it's
in your
our
mind?
pleasure. Um, I don't have a specific intention or focus. Whatever comes.
Okay. Yeah, let me start with that. I was already holding this 3. This light purple feels soft, like some just so, and I feel it like in my heart. I feel like there's like a little bit of, mm, I want to call it like grief, but it's not. It's like that bittersweet, like when you watch a movie and you're like, oh, and your heart kind of goes, oh, like it just feels like, hmm, that energy. Mhm. So for those of you new to my process, I like to put the colors down. I'm tuning into Susan's energy and I'm kind of just stepping out of the way. For me, it feels like, I don't know, I'm in the flow. And so that's where my source is, and that's where her source is. And I'll let them borrow my hands for a little bit. Oh, it wants to spread out. Like, look at that. It moves very fast. Like it felt like very soft and fluttery. And then all of a sudden, as soon as it was given permission, feels like it moved very quickly. And I think that that's part of what's coming through is that as soon as you like decide or give permission, things can move very, very quickly.
Mm, I like to hear that.
Isn't that feel good to like, oh, all I have to do is decide, sweet. I can do that. Have you ever experienced that where you like made a decision about something and then suddenly saw some movement in it?
Yeah, definitely has happened before.
That's awesome. Look at these playful color. Like I didn't see it this way until I just wiped off the excess. So I feel like also if you can kind of clear out some excess energy, if like I don't know if it's worry or just kind of like a little bit of heaviness, I feel like it'll like brighten up. Look at how bright it got. Where do I come in? Was I able to zoom in on this before? I guess not. All right, look at that. It looks like a little, kind of reminds me of a coffee bean in the middle there, like a little seed. Mhm. I'm gonna start with that. I like that little blue. And I just grabbed for a dark color because I like to just pick something for that. I picked this 8 and I wanted to show you because it looks like an infinity symbol. And I feel like I want to just say, get all the time in the world. There's no rush, like everything's happening. It's all right on track.
Matches the message you sent out by email today with the turtle.
Oh yeah. I forgot. God, that feels like a million years ago. Yeah, just like that. Like, yeah, take your time, slow down to soar. Let's get this little like, I want to give it, I don't know what, this is such a weird thought. I was like, oh, it's a peacock seed, like that they grow from seeds. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but you know, my rule is that whatever pops in my head comes out my mouth. So there is something to be said, I think, of like and I love peacock as an image, kind of like feeling very proud of ourselves, feeling very like boisterous. And I think I talked to you about this before, was kind of like feeling silly and being, being more of yourself in this kind of opening up a peacock seed. Yeah. When I used to do
That will
custom
stay with me forever. The
the
peacocks.
I when I used to do festivals, I made like little thing. My business name was the Artsy Apothecary. So I got a bunch of I made like these little, I don't know, bottles and stuff like that, where there were little fun little things. And in one of them, what I just put a bunch of peacock colored glitter, like all the different colors, and I just called it peacock powder. And that's what this kind of reminds me of. It's like coiling around. It also kind of looks like the number 3, so I'm gonna just say like say yes to opportunities for socialization. I think it's really great that you're here for this. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it feels like an elephant um, trunk a little bit, but also like a watering can. So it's like got this both like um, pulling and releasing at the same time, flowing down. What this is. Oh yeah, there's a little elephant. So family. I feel like elephants are such a great symbol for family. So I feel like there's like a little. Oh, it's like the great elephant. The great elephant in the sky is reaching down to bless this little peacock seed. This is the story here. The great elephant in the sky. This is the trunk of like the higher mind elephant. Okay, coming down. And it's like putting this energy on this little seed of, I don't know, self actualization, self pride, those kinds of things. It's starting to kind of crack open right here. And then there's the inner, the me, self, I elephant right here, receiving. Here we go. Put a little bit of right here. See that?
Mm.
I love that purple. I think that's what I feel like it's like bringing some healing energy to the heart center. That's what it's like, oh, here. There's a little bit of, and that can happen through connection with others, is what it feels like. There's a little heart. So we're just going to emphasize those real quick. And then, of course, give it a little, it's peacocky, so it's got to be sparkly. Those things. Couple things to look at if you've done that preferential shapes and you got your shapes in different places. I feel like this, I'm gonna just emphasize that circle right here. Okay. So here we go. This reminds me of some cartoon that I watched with my son when he was little. I don't know what it is, but it was a really fun. I can picture it. It was a really weird looking elephant, and I loved it. And I don't remember. It was weird, but if I think of it, I'll send you a link or something later.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I feel like there's this. So this is how I tend to look at them, as you know. This feels like the internal side, and this is the external side. So there's an external presence of, let's just call it the divine, kind of showering or like supporting and kind of. I almost feel like it's going. It's playing its little trumpet sound to like encourage your peacock shell to break open, come out of your peacock shell or peacock seed or whatever. Yeah. Peacock shell. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and it's kind of like activating it with the little trumpety sound and kind of like the way a mother bird calls to a baby bird to get it to fly. That's what it feels like. And then like your inner elephant is like coming through and like receiving. So it feels like there's definitely some receiving going on, and that's the major message is like, yes, you are, if you've been asking the question, like, am I doing this? Am I doing the receiving part right? Yeah, Yeah, you're getting the messages that are coming through. You're getting the activations that are coming through, and that's it. And that deep pink, that magenta, it just feels so loving. It feels so good. I hope you can feel that. And
Yeah,
that's
I can feel it.
me
And I
too.
also love your the vibrancy and the playfulness in your energy and your voice right now.
I can feel it. It's really coming through, isn't it? I got goosebumps when you said that because it's kind of this whirlwind of like, and then I think it will come through in other people. I think that's why the three showed up. Like it will, the more that you allow yourself to connect and, show up to things, then that's your receiving process. Yeah. Let me pull a
Hmm.
card for you real quick on that. Mhm. It feels so nurturing. I just like, I love those elephants. All right. Find your fairy tale. This is the sound I was hearing, and then I'm getting like goosebumps of like, oh yeah. So look upon your life as a magical adventure. Pay particular attention to music. Let it guide your emotional path. So let yourself have that, like there's something about sound and vibration, the vibration of music and sound that will really help you see the path that you're on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Susan. Right. Well, we're off to a good start, I'd say. That was fun. All right. Let me just get recentered. And I don't think I mentioned like if and it's in the little thing, but if anybody wants their little card, I'll send out an email afterward. We'll have instructions on how to get it if you want it. Um,
I'll definitely have mine, please.
okay. I'll put it aside for
Mm.
you. Okay. So Jocelyn, am I saying your name right?
It's okay. It's Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, I guess I had a 50-50. Sorry about that.
I loved that last one. Wow. It was speaking to me big time.
Was it? It was leading up to you.
Yeah, it was so cool. This is my first time here, so.
Oh, well, it's good to meet you.
You too. Thank you.
What kind of question do you have? Do you something general or do you have a specific thing you're focusing on?
I'm just focusing right now on showing up for myself,
Oh, good. Okay. So do you
being
want some
in
insights?
presence.
Do you want some insights into that, some confirmation? What would you hope for?
Hmm. Yeah, maybe some insight to that.
Okay, sounds good. So what three numbers between 1 and 40 are you feeling today?
9, um, 27, which was so funny because she said that and that's like my number my whole life. And 32.
Okay. And do you have a favorite color?
Purple.
Like a medium, dark, or light? What do you prefer?
Um, Medium.
So the one that's purple is 21. I don't know if that number means anything to you, but look at all the green. Woo!
That's funny because I was gonna tell you that I'd like to have green in there.
Well, you got it. So here's 9, 32, and 27. And so we're talking about showing up, yeah?
Yeah.
Showing up, being present for yourself. Mhm. I immediately was like seeing circles, and that feels like self, but also spirals. Are you an artist?
You could say that I'm,
Can you
yeah.
say that?
Um, I do sing. I'm not a singer. But
Ah,
I've been connecting to Lotus bands and dancing a lot more.
awesome.
And that's a lot of spiraling.
Yes. Yeah, that creative energy. So we do a thing, I do an art support group and we talk about these preferential shapes, and spiral tends to come up around like creativity and growth. and kind of come into the same, sometimes it can show up when we're like coming full circle, but from a new perspective. And it feels like that energy is active, like here, like, oh, this again, I thought I did this already. But I suppose like the theme of showing up, that's something that we come back to again and again. I feel like the energy is kind of like held close. Um, wanna, what's funny is like when I learned healing touch, one of the things that really kind of blew my mind was that when we hold our energy, or like when we spread our energy out, it feels a little vulnerable to kind of like let our energy flow out, but it actually creates like a better buffer. But like some of us have a tendency to hold our energy close to us, which only gives us this like very thin skin of protection. Um, and it kind of feels like that, feels like a little like a thin skin where everything would like showing up. This is what's coming through. Showing up involves the vulnerability of like having to feel everything if you show up, So I just want to acknowledge that's part of it.
Thank you.
What an amazing color combination. It's like, it's very glowy. I hope it's coming through as vibrantly on the screen. It is intense, but I'm going to take off some of the excess. It doesn't look like there's too much buildup of anything. It feels like you do a lot of energy work yourself too. So you kind of have a seed thing going on too, but look at that. There's like an eyeball right in the middle.
Yeah, I see that.
I like it. Let's see where that goes. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see who this is. And I want to take that purple again. Have you always liked purple?
Yes.
It feels connected to the inner child for me. But like it's like a real serious child.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. With a serious child with vision. And then oh my gosh, so this I'm not going to attempt to paint this, but I want to point it out. So we're like, this is like an eyelid here. And then there's like this little shadow, and it looks like a little feather in a hat, sort of. And I just heard like a little kid's voice going, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Remember that? Like,
I used to sing that all the time.
I just heard that, like, as it looked like a little feather in a hat. And I was like, oh, so yeah. So it feels like this decision to show up and be present involves, it calls back to showing up and what that meant as a child. Look at this. Now I understand, like, why is there a big eye in a circle? But it's like a magnifying glass, like a Sherlock Holmes kind of deal. So it could be self-examination. Circles tend to represent the self and like the hero's journey. So, and I'm hearing, I don't know if you're familiar with Matt Kahn, but I heard him say one time, if you're going to go knocking on the door of the subconscious, bring flowers. So be kind to yourself in that self-examination space. And I'm going to blame it on Deb that I have to draw a hand here. All right, but no, I'm kidding. But yeah, so hands are great when they show up because it feels like I feel like it's a message of like your hands are in it. When hands show up, it's like you have control, like you are, capable and part of it.
Wow.
Oh, that little. Yeah. Do you have some sort of Aries energy in yours, in your chart? I was just this fountain here.
I am just starting to learn. I don't have air. I'm sure there's, I don't know where that is in my chart,
I don't know
actually.
much about
I'm
it. I,
just starting to learn.
I could maybe tell
I
you,
can tell you my
maybe.
sun, my my rising.
I could do about as much as telling you like what your zodiac sign is. Maybe some of them I don't even know, but yeah, but I was just seeing this like Aries fountain up here, and so there's like this energy of a fountain. So I didn't know if that was related to like your your sign or something like that, but look at that. I'm also getting this thing like, are you looking through this glass or are you examining your eye? That kind of feeling of like, oh, and you know what? It's not a magnifying glass, it's a bubble thingy. That's that serious child. It's highly intellectual, like, um, yeah. Forgive me that I talk in like half sentences sometimes.
You're just
Mhm.
feeling it. I love bubbles.
Yeah, this is, oh, it suddenly was like, yeah, because there was like this deep, like, oh, I got to figure something out. I got to do that. But it comes from this playfulness. And then look at this little,
Oh,
and I just heard like, roar.
my kitty. One of my kitties.
It's really sweet. It reminds me of like the Cowardly Lion and like going on that journey to find yourself kind of thing, that Wizard of Oz, the whole theme of that. I feel like that's present. And so like the Cowardly Lion is kind of there for the journey. I mean, he was on his own journey too, but I think like that's a companion kind of energy. Put his nose right on that bubble. It feels so childlike. And back here is a very interesting character. This is like a, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but there is something kind of in the shadow that's like a flower that's a little bit hiding a little bit here. It felt like a flame. It kind of reminded me of um that candelabra from Beauty and the Beast. I want to just put a little flame on top of its head too. It's kind of shifting and so I feel like this is some aspect of yourself that has like, so the inner child and the inner artist are, to me, feel very similar. And it's like some make-believe aspect of self that is back in here. I'm gonna bring it out with this green, let it grow.
This is something that's on fire,
It's a candle.
a candle.
Yeah, but it was like something growing. Yeah, so it's a candle. It's like feels like a passion, something that you it's kind of like a candle, but then a candle, which was kind of interesting. It felt like a plant at first. So it's kind of shifting.
Wow, I really connect to that.
It's all right now. It's gonna be on a plate. It's like yeah, like you would carry it. It's something you've been carrying for a long time, is what I'm hearing there. Like you would carry it through and like look through a old mansion or something with it. It's
Wow.
almost like a candle inside a cup, like you've kind of fashioned this candle holder from what you had.
Wow.
There is this like young Sherlock Holmes kind of fun Nancy Drew energy, like this, you know what I mean? Like this there's curiosity and exploration. And with all that green, I think what's so interesting too is like that green feels very, very heart-centered. And so even down to like the green eye, like seeing out with Natasha said avocado vibes. Yes, I do love an avocado. So it's like this very, yeah, and like the avocado feels like the texture just feels like buttery and like it's just goodness. And I feel like there's like such wholesome, playful energy in that. And finding all those little, so showing up for yourself is like taking time to like blow the bubbles and like examine each little aspect of self. Like every little, there's an infinite facets to your personality. And so like if you can imagine holding up a bubble wand and blowing all the bubbles, every single one of those bubbles is some wonderful gift that you have. And so you show up with a different mixture of the soap mixture every time. And I feel like that's part of the reminder here. But also there's this, I keep hearing the word like balance or harmony or like stability or like this desire to feel very secure. And I think that's part of like this number 4 with the 4 circles, but like also this wholeness to feel very whole. And I feel like the little lion's like, here, I'll take it for a minute. Like if it gets too heavy, like if your hand cramps up, you get too heavy and you don't want to do, I'll hold it, or like I'll hold the ball, or I'll play with you. And that feels kind of this fierce part of yourself, but a soft, like a house cat. Like house cats can be freaking fierce, but they're also like
Mhm.
so cute and cuddly. And I feel like that energy is coming up and that can serve you. And then also kind of like the makeshift, like use what you have and do what you can. Like that feels like very much part. This is all internal stuff. These are things that you probably know about yourself pretty well. I feel like you have your eye on yourself and who you are. Um, but it's like just a new thing that's coming up. When I look at the top and bottom, the top here is what's already active in your vibration. So that's probably why that resonated. That's something you're already aware of. Lots of circles, so you're very self-aware. But this is what's coming up. I think this hand and these tiger, they're drawn very similarly, as opposed to like they're different than the other aspects of the painting. And I feel like they're outlined, there's a childlike quality to it. It's very flat and 2D. And I feel like that's it's like a very clear picture of your capabilities is what's coming into your awareness. Is like, oh, like it's much simpler than I thought. That kind of feeling. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I actually do.
Let me pull a card to go with that one.
Wow.
And I gotta let my dog in. Come here, Lulu. Come on. She's so passive. She will not push a door open. She just sit there and like. All right. So this one, get back in that. All right. So showing up. Oh, synchronicity. So notice all the beautiful ways that life moves with you and for you. You are supported and loved. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Good to meet you.
You too.
Deborah's next. How are you today, Deborah?
I'm good. Would it be possible to take Erin next and then me after her? My dog has to go outside.
It's dog time, right? You want to
Yeah.
take
Yeah, she's
Yeah, no
jumping my
problem.
lap.
All right, Erin, you're up.
All right.
How are you?
Good, right? How about yourself?
Great, thank you.
I don't have a dog, but I do have a cat.
Well, the cat, does your cat go outside?
No, I live in an apartment, so she's indoor only. She's like calico mix, so she's fierce.
Aw, yeah, aren't they though? They
Yes,
are.
she's only 7 pounds, but she is tough.
Yeah, small but mighty. So
Oh,
do you
yes.
have a specific question today? You got anything on your mind?
I was curious about my soul's purpose.
Okay, I love that question. I
My
love
friend
my
also-
purpose and that kind of stuff. All
My
right.
friend also had hers done, and she's like, "You should ask that too. See what you get."
What was the other one?
Oh, my friend, she said like you should. She also asked the same question. Hers was really interesting. 'Cause she's
Oh,
the one
cool.
that had all the roses in hers.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay. So let's see. I think I said the same thing when she asked her. I was like, I love life purpose questions. All right. So do you have 3 numbers between 1 and 40?
I was thinking 7, 12, and 32.
7, 12. This was 12. 32. This one does not have a. I'm just checking to make sure I don't have the wrong one for that. Yeah, no, that's right. 7, 12, and 32. And your favorite color?
Teal.
Teal. I have. Would you prefer the left or the right?
I'm thinking more towards the right one.
It's called Laguna, so it's not technically teal.
Uh,
I think of teal's more greener, yeah. So look at all these blues and greens. I love it. Watery, maybe. We'll see.
possibly. I mean, I have a Cancer sign, so
Okay, yeah. Well, let's see what this. Oh. It just kind of wanted to. Huh. Okay,
yeah, like a flower.
that was fun. I thought it was writing. Do you write?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it felt like I was writing something. But do you also make art?
I do indeed. I draw, I sew, I do cross stitch.
Nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, it felt like I wanted to tell a story. And then when it kind of, I was like, oh, look, it's a infinity symbol. And then it was like, oh, it's a clover or something.
Well,
That's-
I am Irish, so that makes sense.
Are you?
I'm
Maybe
a
that
third Irish.
really wanted to come through strongly. All right. Let's see if it stays or not. That'll be interesting. Oh, and there's just, I feel like there's no, I almost said no boundaries, but it's not, that doesn't sound the way that, well, there's a limitlessness. There's a flow with your energy that will just go. Yeah, that's like unimpeded. It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Are you a talker?
Sometimes. It depends.
I
Get on the right subject, I'll ramble.
I can feel it. Do you connect with the non-physical? Like, do you feel like that you have some mediumship or any kind of clairvoyant stuff?
Yes, I do, because on my dad's side, we have some mediums. My great grandmother could see auras and predict things for people, like if they were pregnant, she could see certain colors,
Yeah,
like
no,
around
that
the
one
womb
just
area.
gave me the thing up my, some chills up the side. Yeah, I feel like there's I feel like there's a lot hmm, like when you're like I feel like a little kid who's excited to like tell somebody something. You know what? I want to tell you this, and I feel like that energy is present around you.
Yeah, I
Like
can get
there
that way.
are what?
I can get that way.
It feels like it's like the energy, like it's outside. Well, I mean, there isn't really separateness, but as best I could say, it's outside of you, sort of, but coming in to like wanting your attention. Like, hey Aaron, can I tell you about this? Can I tell you about that? I feel like that she's around you. Ooh, it's very subtle.
Yeah.
And now it's got it reminds me of, it feels like a serpent.
Feels like there's a face in there too, almost.
Uh-huh, right here.
Yeah.
I was seeing this as like a profile of face. Let's see if what happens with that. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Hmm. I almost want to. I want to use orange to outline it. I don't know why. I feel like it might be that like leaning into your creativity is the way to
Okay.
access some of that.
Okay. Interesting.
Mhm. So here's the face I'm seeing. It might be different than one you're seeing. There's kind of, it almost feels like a lion now that I just put that on there. It may change. It might totally become something else.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cat-like. I don't know why.
My cat's influencing you.
Yeah. They do that though. That's what they do.
Hey, Bram. Let's see if I can get you. It's like cat tax. So there she is.
Aw. Yeah, there's something about this is like a big. Yeah, definitely the orange wanted to come and play. And I feel like there's very untraditional, like you can break the rules. Like you just I don't know, or rewrite them for you. I don't know what that means. There's something about that, like you color outside the lines is more accurate. You can make your own lines.
Yeah.
And let it evolve is what, yeah. But there's a desire for stability because I keep getting this number 4. Oh,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense considering what's happened. So
okay, well. It's just turning into a butterfly. Are you in a place of instability? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, right now it's kind of like just all over the place.
Mm. It might be this kind of transformational energy, this like you might be in that in between.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's really intense change energy coming. But
Yeah,
it
but I believe it.
yeah. But so as far as purpose is like the purpose is feels like it's for you to spread your wings, like there's definitely and I know it's kind of a non-answer, but your purpose is to define your purpose and what do you want it to be? What would be the coolest thing that somebody could say, you know? They're like, oh man, I just found out my purpose was XYZ, think about that question for yourself and
Yeah.
that's it, you know. Like someone says, you're meant to lead butterflies on their migration or something. I don't even know, but yeah, there's some
My mom
there's
always
some,
liked butterflies, and she passed
yeah.
away back in 2011.
Oh wow. And there's all this love. And so yeah, there's Who was it that passed away?
My mom did.
Her mom? I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, so maybe there's a little, I think, did you say she had, or was it your grandma that had,
Oh, it's
was
my great grandmother.
your grandma? Okay. There's definitely, like divine feminine energy. I feel like I think that's what this kind of serpenty thing is, like this,
Mhm.
like goddess culture reference to like serpent and change, but also roots. And then it just keeps going over. So I think in the beginning I said something about boundaries, and now
Yeah,
I feel like part of the process that you're in may be defining some boundaries.
but that makes sense.
Honoring your divine feminine. Look at this interesting play with the purple and orange. I feel like you can connect to your spirituality through art making or creativity or however you closer.
Interesting.
And then soft blue. Yeah, I think uh, mm, it starts to come out and then it stops. And I was just about to say, like, speaking up for yourself.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's always been kind of hard too sometimes.
that's just part of the process of living your purpose, like living your like what you came here to do or whatever. Um, wearing your change well. That's what I just heard. You wear it well. Yeah, you go through a lot of shit, but you wear it well.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hmm. Do you have freckles?
A
This
few of them, yes.
one has, it's a little, it's turning into like a little girl, like this little, it had kind of a lion feel in the beginning, like cat-like, and
Yeah,
now it feels like, it kind of reminds me of like 1980s illustration, like a Holly Hobby kind of.
yeah. So I was born in '82, so it's
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I think what I'm getting a big um message is to like lean into your creativity, make more art, do more of that, and pay attention to that, and um, inspiring others and connecting with. There's a really good book I feel like I want to recommend. It's called Art is a Way of Knowing by Pat Allen. She was an art therapist, or is.
okay. I'll have to look into that.
Really good one. And this one's very centered. I feel like you like the purpose is happiness, and I'm reminded of a quote about like happiness is something about a butterfly, and you got to kind of like be still for it to alight upon you or something like that. You get this cute little like snake flower person. Oh my
Yeah,
God. I feel like you have definitely ancestral ties to goddess culture, that could really serve you and is part of your um are you the last female in your line?
I have female cousins, but I'm the last one of my bloodline. Yes.
Yeah, so it's just loving that and honoring that. It feels like, yeah, just really um there's a restfulness, so it's like resting that. Yeah, there's something about that. I would explore that. Know as much as you can about your grandmothers.
Yeah. So when I talk to my Nana, I'll ask her.
Mhm. There's a piece though, is just to grow, like, um, grow and change and be, but also be it's like you're a safe place for people to land when they're freshly changed too.
Yeah.
Like, like a butterfly just coming out of the cocoon, you provide them some stability. There's something there that you have a gift for just holding space. And you might not be experiencing it now or yet, but there is some aspect of you that is really capable of being totally unconditionally, like having unconditional positive regard, like just see, like, I think that's that openness, that flow of your energy
Yeah.
and the groundedness. And then it may get you in trouble because you see
Yeah.
the best
Sometimes
in
it
people,
has.
and then like they land on you and then they don't leave, like that kind of
Yeah.
thing. But that's something that's growing and will evolve too. And so you gotta maybe embrace that serpent part of yourself where you can, let them know that I am also like I'm willing to protect myself also. This little tail came up. It doesn't have a rattle on it, but I would imagine you could have maybe a little rattle. So working on your assertiveness will bring it. But coming just back to what is purpose, what is, life purpose kind of thing. Your inner gifts are really, I think, being like your own growth and expansion and transformation, but also being a stable energy through growth, being that person that can kind of help people find their footing again once they've, or, that kind of thing, but doing that for yourself, obviously. It feels like that's where you're at right now is like in that place of transition. Are you in a place of transition where you're like, okay, I got to find my footing again, or,
Yeah.
coming out of the cocoon?
That makes sense.
Okay, let me pull a card around there. They're faced outward so that they're looking, everything's so centered. So I feel like
Yeah.
you're kind of one of those people that what you see is what you get, like your internal world and your external world. There's not a whole lot that you hide from people, that you're kind of not an open book, but there's not a whole lot that, I mean, obviously we all have it, but feels like you say what's on your mind when you need to say what's on your mind. But I think that there is some aspect of that can go a little farther. Look at the wings in here.
Yeah.
Release and receive. So release the burdens of belief that no longer serve you. So that goes along with this kind of transformation. Let go of, like, don't carry your chrysalis around with you.
Yeah.
You don't need that anymore. Express yourself to clear a path between head and heart. This feels very like it's all heart, and then
Yeah.
the face. So make sure that you say what's on your mind, let it out, allow the manifestations you desire to flow. It's all right there waiting for you to open up. So let it in by letting go. So there can be some letting go. I feel like there's another one for you though. Hold on. I'm looking at this little green in here. Yeah, go with your own flow. So that's a flow too. So I think, yeah, like prioritizing yourself. This one feels very connected to that too. And this is just kind of a blessing. May go with your own flow. May your heart rise to bloom from the depths of your desire. Your thoughts radiate your truth and your voice declare your worth.
Interesting.
And
'Cause I also thought I could see kind of like a shamrock in the girl's head, like with the butterflies landing on. It's almost like a shamrock.
oh yeah, totally. Yeah, that's what I was seeing too. There is, and it's a 4-leaf clover. It's like a four, so it's like lucky, but also 4 being like stable. That's why I say it's like a stable place in your mind to hold change.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's very cute.
Yeah. I'll definitely be buying her when you get the email.
Okay. All right, I'll put her aside for you. It was really nice talking with you, Erin.
Oh, you too.
I hope that was helpful.
It is. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Got some green ones today. That's nice. All right, Deb, are you ready? You got the dogs all locked and.
Parrots don't start screaming again.
All right, let me put these back. Okay, let me just check the waiting room. So just so you know, if anybody like falls out of the room or needs to leave and then you come back in, I'll let you in between the readings. And then what time is it? 7? Cool. Got time for a few more? Yay. All right. So what's happening?
Oh, been busy with my art lately. It's totally picked up.
That's awesome. I think something happened. Are you a what do they call it? A cardinal sign?
I
Is
don't
that one of those? Do you know what your sign is? Like I try to talk about astrology. I know nothing about it, but I heard some cool thing on TikTok. Huh?
Gemini.
Gemini. Is that, oh, I guess that's a fixed or something. I don't know, but something happened with Pluto on the 20th. I heard somebody talking about it. And things have like gone cuckoo bananas for me too.
Hmm.
So yay. I don't care why, but I'm happy. So I'm happy for you. So what do you have on your mind? What do you want to,
I just thought about a general reading today.
okay,
Whatever flows through.
say that again?
Whatever flows through.
I thought you said river flows through. I'm like, is that
Ooh.
a? So what numbers have you got for me today?
11, 21, 31.
11, 21, and 31. And want black for the background?
Yep.
It happens to be 37. All right. And a general. Oh, wow, okay. That's fun. It looks like a map to me for some, or like a X marks the spot here, like. These are great colors. So have you been doing a lot of commission art?
Yep.
That's good.
More than I have done in a while.
Something opened up.
Yeah.
Huh. Did that happen before? Did I pull everything in and spread it out on your other one? I feel like
I think you did.
that happened again. It like pulled it all in and wanted to go out. Yeah, it feels like it. Deep breath before like I'm gonna go into. Oh, Natasha says hi. I love that you're here watching, Natasha. It's great. Yeah, feel free to use the chat if anybody has things. I'll ignore you if I have to. Get that. Oh, this feels really like, okay. Let me pause and- I don't have words, but I definitely feel it. There's like a person down on the bottom here. Try to get closer.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah. Start with shoulders. Oh, I'm just gonna go straight to white. Oh, look at the little heart. Let's get that.
That person almost looks like it's wearing a suit of armor.
Yeah. it's like difficult to put the paint down. It won't take it. All right. There we go. Smoother. I had to kind of like ask, like, can I paint you? And so there's some kind of energy of like, oh, it's kind of like looking up too. I really feel like I need to emphasize a collarbone, or maybe that's a piece of arm, like the edge of armor or something. Yeah. Ooh. It feels so intense. Very clear edge of something.
You're going out of the screen a little bit, Linda.
Oh, thank you very much. No, I feel like that's a book with like pages coming up. Did I ask you before if you were writing a book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one's loud. It's like if I could animate it, it would like fly around and flap its pages at you.
I also do a lot of journaling. I'm on my
Mm.
journal in the last 5 months.
Oh, that's awesome. Good. Magical too. Like this line going here. Here comes the train. Can you hear the train?
Hello.
I feel like there's stars, so it's like night sky.
Mhm.
My goodness. All those connections. I feel like this came up to, I can't really remember your other readings. That's just kind of the nature of it. But I feel like making connections was one of the things that was like one of your gifts, kind of that parallel thinking or crossing, making connections between things. And I just see that popping everywhere. Like bing, bing, bing. A lot of energy. So now this person almost looks like their back is to us. I'm hearing Milky Way. I don't know why. Big. Maybe because it's a spiral. There's something about, yeah, like not just the spiral, but like a Fibonacci type spiral. Exponential growth, that's what I just heard. So like what you may be experiencing is this kind of exponential. Oh, someone just gave me another term for it the other day and I can't think of it now. Was it geometric growth, maybe? Yeah. And that's coming, so this is all that external side. Ooh. Oh, maybe, you know what? It's coming out of your journaling.
Yeah.
It's coming out of this journaling right here. It's going and it's spiraling into the external. You're like manifesting that shit. That's cool.
Really metaphysical. Interesting.
I love the depth that the black adds. Yeah, because look at, here's that like spiral page here. Yeah. And then the spiral page over there. I like how it's coming back. It's almost making a big heart too. Yeah, as long as you keep doing what you love. One more little. It's a hand, but.
Love them hands.
It's giving me like those like magician tarot vibe where like all the elements are at your disposal. Yeah. Right. So I don't know, man. Look at that. Let's do this one here. That was one of the first. I feel like this is a little planet. Or like, maybe it's the moon. But
Yeah, it's definitely.
oh, we have a full moon tomorrow, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Imagine I've been busy.
So, oh gosh. Now it's kind of looking up, looking into, it felt like it was looking forward, the figure. When I first started, I felt like it was looking from the inside out. There's a cat up here, by the way. It looks like a cat, but but yeah, it feels like so left and right. This is internal. The internal work you're doing through your journaling is like creating this like exponential growth of expression coming through in the external world. And I feel like this figure turned and to look at it, like it was turned and looked inward, and now it's, so I feel like if there's a message there, it's kind of like, yeah, now like observe in the manifestation process, you could just now observe what's happening, and you will keep, you know, giving it focus, and it'll keep growing. It's coming out of the stability and that purple, that spiritual connection. I love that it echoes, the person is echoed up here in kind of that source. It's like it's as above, so below kind of thing. So very much rooted in that. And it definitely feels like the magician, like you've got, like you're making it happen. It's very cool. And then with love too, and wholeness, but like holding that flame, that like magic. Yeah, and it's kind of got this little heart shape as it comes out, so it definitely feels rooted in love. Let's see what the cards say about it. I feel like I barely painted anything on there, but then it just like was already there. That was wild. All right, let's see. Whoa, a bug just buzzed my face. Did you hear it? That was so loud. It was one of those funky stink bug things. Wildflower, trust, trust, trust. I want to emphasize that trust. Trust in your natural abilities. access your innate capacity for healing for yourself and others by simply being you. I just feels like, yeah, you don't really need to do anything. You are just being, your magical self. And look at this coming up. Look at that big red or orange. Be still and breathe. Inspiration ebbs and flows. So just enjoy the dance, feel the rhythm. So if it starts to like ebb, remember it's just an inhale before the exhale. And so I feel like that's that. Yeah. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's see. So I had Era Prita. Hi, Prita.
Hi,
Good to meet you.
so good to meet you. You're so amazing. This is just so incredible.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
I am just blessed to be here and to see the two before. Thank you.
Yeah. So do you want to have a reading for yourself now?
Yes, I don't know how to do it. I think I'm supposed to pick 3 numbers.
You are, yeah. So the numbers go from 1 to 40. So you can pick any 3 numbers between 1 and 40.
4, 12, and 32.
And then do you have a favorite color?
Usually purple, like a pinkish purple.
Do you like this one?
A little bit more pink.
How about that one?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, cool. All right, here are your colors. And then do you have a question or intention for the reading?
2024 has been really rough.
Sorry to
So
hear
I
that.
just need some goodness, and you're already giving it. So anything more is extra.
Awesome. So just something uplifting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see. Let's start with Laguna. Do you have access to water?
I wish. We're in Boston. It's all snow.
Yeah. I feel like if you could get submerged in water, it would help a lot. It would soothe.
Oh, it's so beautiful, these colors.
That purple looks so great with that one. I'm gonna put that one right there. I really like this like triangle thing here. So another thing you can do too is think about, I'm gonna do this really quick. So anybody who's watching, if you want to do this too, I'm gonna write this down. So these shapes, there are 5 shapes, right? And this. So look at these shapes and like decide which one's your favorite. And you can put them in, so you would do, if you have paper and pen, you can do this. So you'd number 1 through 5, and then you'd put this shape in the one, like this would be your favorite number 1, and this would be your least favorite number 5. And that'll give you some insights too. When we're looking at that, I can, if you come to art support group, I'll go into detail on those, but the green is really, ooh. But I feel like that could be helpful for the reading. All right. I feel like there's a little bit of like a, like a difficulty with growth at the moment. Do you feel stalled?
So I am a chaplain, and it has been rough, and my family has been either sick or injured. My daughter concussion, my husband's back is out, my son is sick.
Oh my
So yeah, I
gosh.
think it's been a rough. So yes, that could be
All
stalled, stuck. But this is gorgeous. Look at this.
Look at
Wow.
these colors and I, it's the depth of the colors, those kind of dark color, but look at the little light shining out in there. Let's see what that's about. So I'm going to remove some of the excess. And I feel like you hold it all like there's a lot of I want to show you on this piece of paper here. So there's like all this, excess stuff. So let's call it energy, and if this side is the internal and that's the external, it feels like you allow it to flow into you rather than letting it flow out to others if there's difficulty. That makes sense.
Oh, very true. Yes, very true.
So which of those shapes did you like the most?
Well, it's a tie between a spiral and a circle.
Okay. I was wondering if it was spiral because it feels like some like creative energy that tends to be, but like creative energy in the form of growth and learning. Do you love learning?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it feels very. Hmm. All right, I'm seeing something really. I'm gonna see if I can in there. Need that white. Mhm. So as a chaplain, do you work in like a hospital or?
University with faculty, staff, graduate students, undergraduate students.
I don't know. This is some sort of like. Light. I don't, I'm not sure yet what this is, but. Oh, I think it. I think it's like a lantern or something. I saw this light. Oh yeah, there we go. So has it been rough with everybody being sick, or is it just rough, like school wise, or?
Oh, global.
Oh,
It's been rough since 2023. But yeah, in particular, 2024 has been with the physical stuff.
mm,
Carrying a lot, as you said. Carrying a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. All right, y'all are making me draw hands today. No, I'm just gonna have to practice my hands but then I wouldn't have anything to complain about, would I? There's a little arm coming out of here, and it's interesting because I feel like there's a face. This person's face is like green. It's like when I look at green, I think of like the heart. Oh, okay. Can you see over my hands? Let me try that. There's like this light coming up. Kind of like an owl. Love that the light came from the thing and then like turned him into an owl. Okay. And over on this side. Then I feel like there's it's like a reflection. Down here, I think this is water. Actually kind of reminds me of like a cave. Have you ever been in a cave?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
One of
gosh.
my favoriteest places.
Really?
Yeah. Cancun, the cenotes. It's just
Oh my God. Oh, that just gave me chills. Yes. Those are so sacred and so this is what it feels like. You're like deep within like a cave and like carrying this light coming through. And there's all these, so there's like these triangles, this one here. So triangles tend to represent like visions, dreams, goals, that kind of thing. There's these coming through. So you're carrying the vision of, you know, in your wisdom, carrying the vision of peace and comfort and, you know,
mm,
that kind of thing into dark, recessed places.
I just gave a talk yesterday on peace, so that's so appropriate.
This is like a pillar. Yeah, so I feel like it's like, isn't it interesting? Like the pillars of society are sort of like down in the, you know, kind of reminds me of, I grew up outside of Chicago and you go and you can go like in these streets and they have these like holding, you feel like you're underground sort of. And that's what it kind of reminds me. And it can get like foggy and weird down there, and you can't see very well. And it's kind of creepy. Yeah. So I think that's what these kind of pillars, and then like this green is the heart. That's the heart center energy. So it's like just you leading with your lamp, leading with your love and your lamp. It moves ahead of you. Yeah, that. And there's this interesting reflection. But what's not reflected is the mask. So I want to look at this area, which is like your favorite color too. So I'm interested in that. And that's what the hand is. So that feels like, that purple feels like connected to your divine source. Yeah, like, feel like a Christian chaplain.
Oh no, actually Hindu chaplain.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I never have Christians in my groups, so that makes sense. Hmm. I like it. They have kind of like a, like they're dressed in green. I really am loving this. I kind of want one of these masks now, like a owl mask. There is something really interesting here. I see a couple things that, so in this area right here, I'm not gonna outline anything because it's kind of, what it kind of reminds me of is like the unnamed source energy, God, you know, the source of all kind of feeling right in here, where it's kind of shape shifting in my eyes. I can see like a bear, I can see a tiger, I can see an elephant, and here's like its body, and like, so it's just like it is whatever it needs to be. So it doesn't need to be defined. So in that energy, and that makes up the body of this person. So that's you, like you have the ability to call out and embody whatever you need in the moment. And so that's the message that wants to come through, is like you can embody whatever energy that you need to embody to be, you know, to lead with your light in any given moment. And then like these pillars, they also represent like strength, right? They hold things up. And so there's like this reflection of that. looking at left and right. So this is what's going on internally, right? You're really like, it feels like hard line. Oh, sorry, I was loud. Feels like hard lines, like really like putting the mask of love and wisdom on, but carrying that to your internal self also. Like it's just who you are through and through. Like your love for others and your desire to help them and bring light to them is just, it's just you. That's, you know, so it's not a mask, it's just your being. And so, but it like it builds strength, it comes around, it moves around other things that might be barriers or might be that. And then like just the fluidness of it, I also feel like there's kind of this watery energy coming down in through. There's also similar, I think there's a little bit of that serpent energy coming through here. I think that's kind of a collective thing that we're feeling, is some of this renewal through the serpent energy. So that's coming through too. I really like, so triangles are visions, dreams, goals. The face has kind of got that triangle shape. I'm seeing that a lot here. I'm wondering if that's like in your middle position. Like
what
the
is middle?
triangle. Yeah, what'd you put in? Where did you put triangle?
Oh yeah, yeah, third. Yes.
Third. Okay, so like whatever's in the third position, that's typically the process that we're involved in right now. So your process right now is like creating the visions and the dreams and the goals for yourself and that kind of thing, and helping others do that. So especially if you're like working with college students, I would imagine that they're in the process of envisioning too. So, but yeah, so this is also, you know, helping them light the way for themselves, but with that square foundation. It's got this nice grounded foundation on the lamp. Let me pull a couple cards for you.
Thank you so much. I really needed this. I can't even tell you. I have no words.
So call to your pack. Yes, that's like, I feel like if you could go and howl, you would feel so much better. So the connecting with others is, you know, if you have a peer group that you can just really let your song pour out, if you can kind of clear those, I feel like that's what this blue coming through here, you know, open your heart and let your song pour out. You're not alone. When you let your authentic light shine brightly, it's a beacon for kindred connection. So the more that you could just show up and connect with others, like that's going to help you, you'll be provided for on your path. And this big old circle, I feel like, I mean, this is the mandala series, so they're all circles, but I feel like this card came up because it's like, we've got a full moon tomorrow, but also like knowing yourself as whole and not just who you are when you're serving others, but also who you are and what your authentic light is, and let your authentic light shine. I just made that connection. Like it says, when you let your authentic light shine brightly, it's a beacon. So not only are you helping people, but if this lamp that you're lighting the way with is truly you, and it feels so good to just shine it, it not only is it going to help others, but it's going to help you and help you connect to what you need. Does that make sense?
Oh yes.
Oh, well, what a pleasure it was to connect with you. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you. Thank you for whatever led me to you. This is amazing. I don't even know how I found you.
Get here.
I don't even know how I found. I was just kind of like, please give me some inspiration, and I saw this amazing invitation somewhere, and
I'm
thank you.
so
Thank you
happy.
for what
See,
you do.
yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. Well, I'm so glad. And thank you everybody for showing up. I'm gonna if anybody wants a card real quick, let me know. I'll pull a card. I'm gonna do one just for everybody. I'm done doing painted readings. It's 7:30 already, unbelievably. But I'll stick around if anybody wants to, you know, just chit chat with me, or you want just a card. I'll pull a card for you. I'm gonna turn off remove this spotlight so I can just see everybody, and I'm gonna end the recording. And I just want to say again, thank you so much for everybody participating.